Welcome to Athletic Alert, episode 4, sponsored by Michael Rosenblum, podiatrist, foot and ankle specialist. So let's get in with our athletic alerts. According to sources, Greinke will opt out of his contract, which has $71 million over 3 years remaining. One GM believes that he'll get multiple offers for $125 million over 5 years at a minimum, with the likely winning bid at about $150 million over 5 years, or maybe even more than that. The Cy Young candidate will be targeted by many teams in need of pitching that have the money to spend, and adding Greinke to any rotation in the MLB would automatically boost it a lot. So it will be exciting to see where Greinke lands.
And now to the NBA, where Lamar Odom catches our eye. Lamar Odom was taken to a hospital in Las Vegas when he was found unconscious in his hotel room by 2 people. They did tests on him. They found that he was overdosed on cocaine. He was in a coma until Friday morning, where he woke up and he came off life support, and he's been talking to his family and friends and his wife. His agent says things are going well, and we hope the best for Lamar.
Finishing with the NHL, Thomas Plekanec signed a 2-year, $12 million contract extension, with the Montreal Canadiens last Friday. At 32 years old, he will continue to center Montreal's top line. He started off the season with 4 goals in 5 games. He's only missed 12 whole games in his past 9 seasons, and he scored at least 20 goals in 7 of the last 8 complete seasons. So a big signing for them.
All right, so those were our athletic alerts. Now we're going to move on to Truth or Trash, and our first statement is going to have to do with fantasy basketball, and let's talk about Steph Curry. So the first statement is, after winning the MVP, Stephen Curry will be the #1 fantasy basketball point guard, and that is according to the ESPN standard scoring. So, what do you guys think? Truth or trash?
Well, I'm going to go with the truth. Steph Curry, he was very dominant last season, obviously, because he won the award. You know, he showed that he can pull off crazy moves. There were moves where he was put up shots that their coach put his hand over his head. What are you doing? He just took random shots and he sinked them. This man has something that no one else has in the league as a point guard. He just has the ability to know where the basket is, and he's not looking at it. Throws it up, it goes in. He warms up at the half court before every game. He's dominant. If he stays healthy, I think that he can potentially be the top fantasy point guard. I know you guys might disagree, but that's just how I feel.
All right, well, personally, I think that is trash, and that's because of somebody named Russell Westbrook. I think he's going to lock down the #1 point guard spot if he's healthy. And obviously with KD out last season, he just went on a complete tear with triple-doubles like half of his games when KD was out. And I really like Russell Westbrook. He's a super athlete, a superhuman. And yeah, Steph Curry's got the 3-point shot. He can drive, he can pass, he can do it all. But I like Russell Westbrook as a fantasy option. He puts stats up across the board. And this year, I like as my #1 point guard, Russell Westbrook.
I like both those point guards. I would take either of them on my fantasy team, but the #1 guy to me is John Wall. I think he's going to become the best point guard this year. I think he's got all the tools to do so. He's got enough support around him. He gets points, a lot of points each game, ton of assists. I mean, he's an assist monster, as I like to refer to. And he's got so much good talent around him, and he plays at such a high energy level. I think he has a chance to take that #1 spot away from the former MVP and Steph Curry.
I like John Wall, but I don't see him as really... I like him, and I think he's going to be a top assist guy, but I don't think he's going to get too many points per game. I mean, they have a lot of guys on that team that can score, and I think John Wall's really relied on as the passing guy. He will maybe go like 18 to 20, but I don't think he's going above 20 points per game.
And to counter-attack what you said about Russell Westbrook, I think that with KD back, Russell Westbrook will have to be forced to give KD the ball. You know, the reason why KD is going to enter free agency this upcoming offseason in the NBA is maybe because he doesn't like that role in OKC. He wants to explore his options. So I feel like that Russell Westbrook is going to be forced to give the ball. He will not get nearly as many points as he did last season because, you know, he's the assist maestro. So
I mean, he did take a lot of shots last season
because KD didn't
because
play
KD
at all.
wasn't there. But if he could limit his shots and just learn to take better shots, then he can still, because he didn't shoot a great percentage. So if he can shoot a little bit of a better percentage and limit his shots, then he can still get the points per game. I mean, he averaged like 28 last season. The chances of repeating that are slim with KD in the lineup. But I think he can still get over 20. And his assists will go up because KD is there. And I just think he's an extremely athletic point guard that has a lot of potential, especially in fantasy.
Pulling it back to John Wall, I'll make my argument in this. Both of your guys are top scorers. You know, they might get over 20, 30 points a game, Curry and Westbrook. But if we're talking fantasy basketball, standard scoring league, you're going to get points for everything. And John Wall just stuffs up the shit. Stuffs up the stat sheet across the board, whether it's points, rebounds, or assists.
I think Russell Westbrook does it better.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah,
I think that Curry is a splash brother. You know, he's going to be splash.
What does that mean?
The arena will flood. The arena will flood with the splash, the water from the splash of that.
Oh, okay.
But you know what?
Russell Westbrook wins.
Hey,
all right, we gotta
let's
stop.
move
We
on.
gotta stop.
No.
We gotta move on.
Let's move on to the MLB.
Okay,
All right.
great.
So our second truth or trash statement is that the Chase Utley slide will result in a rule change or addition in the MLB. Truth or trash?
I think based on how much the media made out of it and how much everybody noticed it, I think it's truth. I don't know exactly what the rule will be or what kind of changes they'll make, but I mean, it was a big play, and I think just based on how much it's been noticed by everyone, I think there'll be some kind of rule change for it.
I don't know. Personally, I would do trash if I was the GM. Not the GM, the commish. If I was the commish, I wouldn't do anything. But at the same time, we saw what happened with Buster Posey. They instantly made a rule change. I think they're gonna make a rule change. I just wouldn't. I think they're starting to take out just all the collisions in baseball. I get it. It's not it's not football. There's not contact all the time. But I think people are making a bigger deal out of this than it really is. Just because there's not a lot of contact plays in baseball anymore, so people saw this and they were like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
I mean, they're lucky it was Ruben Tejada and not like some star.
Yeah, for the Mets' sake, yeah.
No, not just for the Mets' sake, for the MLB's sake and Chase Utley's sake. If it was Derek Jeter getting slid in like that, I bet Chase Utley would have been out for longer.
Yeah, I guess. I just think when you're sliding into second base, you're not going for that bag. You're going to take out the other player. I think Utley did it.
He wasn't near the bag.
No. He did it. He did it way too aggressively. But I just think that it wasn't crazy horrible. I don't think it needs to have a big rule change.
Well, I'm gonna go with truth. I think that it will. I agree with what Colin said. I would not change it because I believe that's part of the game. You know, you got to go off the Buster Posey. Catchers aren't allowed to block the plate anymore. A lot of catchers are mad. Listen, every sport, they have some sort of contact in it. And you can't take that away from the game. The umpires, they make mistakes sometimes. You can't take that unless you have a robot directing every little thing. The game will never be perfect. Nothing's perfect. And I feel like sliding to someone is part of the game. Chase Utley said he had no intent of hurting him. Of course, I hope he wouldn't as a person. But he did try to break up the play, and I think that you should be allowed to do that. Maybe something with the metal spikes, you can try to make a rule around that, change the spikes on the shoes. I don't know. But I think it will happen because of the Buster Posey situation where he was out for the rest of the season. He got torn up his leg or something like that, blocking the plate. But I think that this will result in a rule change, but I don't agree with it.
Okay, well that brings us to an end with Truth or Trash. We're going to have thermostats back to you in when basketball starts up.
Yeah.
But for now, while basketball is not up yet, and it will be up very soon, we're going to go to a segment this week. We're going to call it the NFL Picks, where we're going to pick the matchups and the teams that we think will win those games. So let's go to it right now.
It's week 6 for the NFL. We each picked one game that we thought was pretty even. We're going to tell you who we thought is going to win or is going to lose. Jesse, what's your first game?
All right, so my matchup is the Panthers at the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks win this game. Panthers are having a great season so far, but the Seahawks at home, I see them winning this game.
I'm going to go with Cam Newton and the Panthers beating the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, he's not going to have a good game. It's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, defense for the Panthers is great. I know the Seahawks might be a little bit better, but I take the Panthers to win a tough road game on this one.
All right, my game is the Dolphins playing in Tennessee against the Titans. I'm going with the Titans beating the Dolphins. They're going to beat the Dolphins. It's going to be a tough coaching situation. The first game that the new coach of the Dolphins is coaching, it's going to be a tough game where Mariota's going to shine.
All right, I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I'm going to go against you. I think the key for the Dolphins, if they can get pressure on Marcus Mariota, haven't had a lot of sacks all year, if they can get 1 or 2 on Mariota, I think they pull this one through.
I like the Dolphins in this game. I think they have a good defense, and I think they're going to be able to stop the rookie Mariota. And if they can get a few big plays on offense, they'll go ahead early and win the game.
All right, final game is going to be the Monday night game. The Giants at the Eagles, big divisional matchup.
All right, I have the Eagles winning this game. It's so hard to pick between these two because they're always close, and you never know who's going to win them. But I think in this division game, the Eagles are really fighting for a spot in the division, and I actually think the Eagles are going to win that division.
I agree with Jesse. The Eagles will beat the Giants. They're clicking together. The Giants have a lot of wide receiver injuries going on. They don't know if Odell's coming. They don't know if Victor Cruz is going to play. DeMarco will shine, and Sam Bradford will do well against the poor Giants secondary.
I'm going to take the Giants in this one. I'm going to take them to get another road victory. They got too many weapons on that team. Shane Vereen was a great pickup, and they're going to do really well against that poor secondary the Eagles have.
All right, so those are our picks. Let's go back to the table.
We hope you liked that segment, but before we wrap this show up, we want to ask you guys to help us get to 100 subscribers. When we asked you to get us to 50, you did it. And we're at 77. We're very close. If you get us to 100, we're going to have a special video. It's going to be really a lot of fun. And we want you to like, subscribe, and share this video to a lot of your friends. And that's basically a wrap.
Make sure you comment. Let us know what you want to see because we love to hear whatever you have to say.
Don't forget about Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at AthleticAlert.
All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.